What's going on, guys, and welcome to our second official NTNS Street Series TOUGE racing competition here on GTA 5. If you guys caught our first competition, we did run 90s cars. Tonight, though, we have 80s, and this is going to be a lot of fun because not only do we have a new set of cars, we're on a new line, too. Now, we do have some rules to go through for you guys tonight. We do have a few bands. We have the Elegy and Comet Retro Customs, we have the E30 wide body, and we do have HSW except for the X32. Everything else with the model year in the 80s is fair game, so we're going to hop into a demo run, go through some of the rules for you guys, and then we're going to get the competition underway. Alright guys, so here we are with the test run, same as before for the launch. Once these guys see that salute go, they're good to launch, and we are going to be running downhill as well as uphill tonight. Now we do have a few rules for the runs themselves. If you guys see a car go four wheels off, that is going to be a disqualification for that run, as well as if you see heavy contact with traffic, or if you see deliberate contact with the other driver. If there is incidental racing contact, we are going to allow that to be a complete rerun, so if it's downhill, we'll rerun the downhill. If it's uphill, same way. This is a best of three competition, so the drivers are going to need 2 wins in order to move on into the next round, and I think that pretty much does it for all the rules. So let's get this competition underway and see who our next champion is going to be. Alright guys, starting off the battles for tonight, we have a rematch from our finals in our 90s TOUGE competition. We have H1 and Moo. And we are off, guys. Launch number 1 for run number 1 of our second TOUGE competition here in GTA. H1's going to run to the inside. Moo is not going to give him any of the room, and he hits some traffic to start. That's devastating. It's looking good for H1 so far. Here we go, guys, all lined up for the uphill. First uphill of the day. Let's see if Moo can pull out a win here to force that third run as H1 spins him, and that looked purposeful to me, man. I don't know. Let's talk to the chat and see if that's going to be a third run or a rerun. All right, guys, so that was ruled a racing incident. We're going to rerun the uphill here. Another great launch from both drivers as Moo is going to pull a little bit ahead here. He does need that win to force that third run. H1's going to try and guard that inside, and Moo is going to pull ahead. Both drivers getting around the truck really well here as Moo pulls away a little bit on that upper right-hander going to the left now. Let's see, they hit a little bit of sand, and H1 is getting pulled on here. Looks like we may have a third run between these two drivers. This is such a great way to start the competition here. Like I said, guys, this is a rematch from our finals in the 90s TOUGE competition. Both of these guys are fantastic drivers, very fast. Surprised to see Moo in that F40 today as he catches a little oversteer. He was running the E30 wide body, which did get banned at the end of testing there on our last stream. And H1 is hunting down that rear bumper as Moo goes 4 off. Absolutely devastating for Moo, running a great race, and H1 on a technicality is gonna move on into round 2. And there it is, guys. H1 on a 4-wheel drop is gonna move on into round 2. Up next, we have AK and Chain. Here we go, guys. Run number 2 here. We got Chain and AK. Speaking of recent winners, we got AK in the Fox body back there. He just recently won our most recent FD competition here on the channel, and he is gonna move hard into that inside, try and pull on Chain here as Chain's gonna race defensively. It was only 2 wheels off. That's a great save from AK heading down the hill here. Chain really solid here in that Mark II, and that's, I don't know if that was 4 off. He's barely keeping it on track back there, but that was solid, man. The Fox body bouncing around. This is gonna look like a pretty good class here. Fox body versus Mark II. We're only about halfway down the line as the Fox body makes the move to the inside. Is he gonna pass? Not quite, as Chain with the better line gets lucky there on track position, but AK is poking up. The line's not done. Oh, as we got some crazy traffic back there from one of the special missions there, the product flying around on our TOUGE, and Chain is still defensively guarding that position, and it looks like he is gonna barely pull out that win. And here we go, guys, back up the hill. Chain with the win, but barely. AK definitely has a shot here to force that third run as Chain's gonna pull ahead. Once again, AK hunting him down, though. This is a really close race. Love to see it here. See if AK can keep that Fox body on the track as he goes to the inside and gives Chain a little push. He almost grabbed the traffic there, and the Fox body goes to the outside, and he makes the move. That's a beautiful pass there. A little bit of NASCAR bumping, rubbings racing. We love to see it there. And the Fox body goes back up to the hill. He's going outside, and Chain hits some understeer with those F1 wheels. He runs him, man. He runs him in the TOUGE, and he runs him in the FD, but it didn't work out for him so well there. Looks like that Fox body might have a lot more torque going up the hill, and the Chainster goes outside 4 wheels, and that is going to be a third run as long as that Fox body can stay on track here. And we are going to have our first third run of the day. And here we go, guys. We got a little wheelie on the Fox body on our first run number 3 of the day. Chain, though, with the launch, he is going to get ahead, even with all that torque, popping those front wheels up. As Chain keeps 2 wheels on, but the Fox body goes around, and the Fox body out into the dirt. It is devastating for AK as Chain is going to move on as long as he can keep that Mark II on the track for the rest of the run here. And there it is, guys. Chain is going to move on into round 2. Great driving from AK, though. That Fox body looked bouncy, and he did a great job keeping it on track. Up next, we have Moat and LT. And here we go, guys. LT versus Moat. Moat and that Ardent. The Ardent was one of our faster cars in testing. thing. It's going to be hard for this Fox body to corral this thing, but LT is going to give it all he's got here. Already got it on the LS car meat plate, which is sick. Love that LS car meat plate, and that Arden almost goes too wide. The Fox body 2 is going to get pumped by traffic. Is absolutely devastating. We'll keep an eye on that Arden up there as he's flying. See if he goes off track for any reason. But LT is on the downhill, going to be fighting an uphill battle here as we finish out the first run. All right, guys, we got our uphill as the Fox body grabs a huge wheelie here. Moat did win on a traffic contact for LT. We're going to see if LT can force that third run here up the hill as he goes wide. Oh, it's not 4 off, though. He corrals it enough. Oh, and he hits the traffic on some lag, and Moat is gonna move on. And there it is, guys. Moat is gonna move on into round 2. Up next, we got JC Mods and JC Aragon. Here we go, guys. Battle of the JCs. We got Aragon versus Mods. Aragon in the red F40, Mods in the blue. We got another F40 battle as well. Beautiful sunset here, and Aragon is gonna pull away. Now, I have to say, Aragon was absolutely ridiculously fast in testing, and I think if we had to name a driver to beat for tonight, it's gonna be Aragon. He's been absolutely stellar all week here. H1 already took out Moo. Aragon with an absolutely crazy traffic pass there. He is flexing his skills, showing us what he's got, man. Looks like he's gonna finish up his run with a pretty good gap on JC Mods back there. JC Mods doing everything he can there to make up some distance, and it's not quite gonna work out for him as Aragon finishes strong. And here we go, guys, back up the hill. Let's see if Aragon can pull out a win or if JC can force a round number 3 here as Aragon does get that launch, pulls out ahead pretty well here. And JC Mods goes 2 off, not 4 off. He's still in the running for now. He goes to the inside. I don't think I saw 4 off quite back there. We're gonna let him have the pass there as Aragon is just so fast, man. No matter what car you're in driving with this guy, it's so hard to catch him. And it is no surprise to see this guy putting down an incredible pace, especially like I said, after what we saw in testing. He is just an absolute missile and definitely a driver to beat tonight heading up the hill here. And there we go, guys. JC Aragon into round number 2 here. So fast, man. Up next, we got Dilly and Demons. Here we go, guys. Run number 1 for Demons and Dilly. Dilly in that Fox body is gonna get a great launch here as Divine in that AE86 back there. Let's see if Dilly can keep the lead. This is some TOUGE vibes here, man. Old school cars, old school lights even. 2 rear wheel drive cars that are a little bit tougher to corral as Divine does go out back there. Dilly's flying in this Fox body here. Looks like Dilly put a pretty good gap here on Divine. He just needs to finish out his run strong here, and then we'll run the uphill and see if Divine can force that third run. And here we go, guys, back up the hill. Let's see if Dilly can pull out a second win here. It looks like the Fox body is just another pace ahead of that AE86. I have to say, Divine's pretty bold pulling that AE86 out here. It is definitely an iconic TOUGE car, but it wasn't super competitive in our testing, so it's gonna be pretty tough for him here. Up the hill as he makes a good distance with the traffic, and he passes on the outside and goes 4 out into the air. And it looks like Dilly is gonna move on. And there we go, guys. Dilly on into round 2. Now we have Hatman chilling in the bracket, waiting for some revival drivers. We're gonna talk to chat and see who gets revived. All right, guys, so we have officially revived AK, Demons, and JC Mods. Ruckus and Termal have grabbed spots in the bracket as well, so we got Hatman and Ruckus up next.
And here we go, guys. Hatman's TOUGE debut here against Ruckus in the S13 little Nissan battle. We're gonna try and stay to the outside, don't wanna cause a collision. No, I gotta get on the brakes just a little bit, settle it down. I'm surprised Ruckus didn't poke up on the left side there. Oh no, a little oversteer. Oh, the bump! And we were able to keep it on the road here. Let's see if we can keep it nice and steady as we go down the hill. That S13 was pretty competitive in testing. I don't know if my X32 is gonna be able to hang here, but we're gonna try and at least pull out 1 win here. Coming off our FD defeat, we're gonna try and at least pull off something here in the TOUGE. Getting pretty nervous here as we get to the end of the run. Don't wanna go off the track. Ruckus is still really close. Don't want to look behind me just like FD guys while I'm driving. Got to keep my eyes on the road here. Hard enough to get a good run here in the hat, but we did end up with the win here for our first run against Ruckus. Let's get him back up the hill and see if I can get up on into round number 2. And here we go, guys, back up the hill in that HSW X32. We got a lot of traffic here. Got to be careful as we are able to pull on Ruckus once again here. Now, I do believe that the handling is really going to be where this thing struggles, especially uphill here. I'm going to try and just keep this thing on the road, not oversteer into the dirt and cause a DQ because of a technicality. Gotta watch out for traffic here. Get back to the inside. Drive nice and careful, nice and cautious as we hit that oversteer right there. That's what I was worried about. And we're able to somehow come out in front. About halfway through the run now. Get back into the inside on traffic, and Ruckus is still right there on us. Oh no, that was so close. I think that was 4 out. And that might be a run number 3. We're gonna consult with chat when we get back up to the top of the hill and see if Hatman gets called for that one. Ruckus 4 off! Oh, Ruckus got 4 off as well. All right, guys, so Ruckus did go 4 out as well, so we called the rerun on the uphill here. And we are off here on the rerun for the uphill. Ruckus with a great launch here. Hatman gonna have to make the pass. And I am gonna be able to make it stick on the inside. Just gotta settle the car down here, not drive into traffic, not drive this car off again. I do struggle uphill in this car specifically. Rear wheel drive, little boat here. Oh, traffic. Oh, I kept one wheel on. And Ruckus is gonna go by. Oh, this is getting intense here. Oh, traffic again. And Ruckus kept it on track. But Hatman with the better line. Let's see if I can catch him here. Get back to the inside. And Ruckus with the defensive line, and Hatman's gonna be able to make it stick here. Gonna drive nice and careful. Great battle, that was intense. And we are gonna barely get away with the win on into round number 2.
All right, guys, so that is Hatman on into round number 2. Up next, we got Termal against our first revival driver, AK. Here we go, guys, Termal and AK. AK once again with that wheelie here. But it looks like the Fox body had a little bit of trouble accelerating off the launch as Termal's gonna get a good lead here going into the first turn, and he's gonna go 4 off, and that's looking pretty good for AK. AK just needs to keep it on the track here, and he'll have a pretty good advantage going into their second run. And here we go, guys, back up the hill. Great launch for the Fox body there. That was sick. And he has a great gap on Termal. Looks like AK might be able to pull out the win here on the uphill. We'll see how they progress up the hill. It is tough with these rear-wheel drive cars to keep them on the road on some of these uphill corners. Honestly, I feel like it's even tougher sometimes on the uphill than it is the downhill, which you would think that the downhill would be tougher to kind of corral that rear-wheel drive oversteer, but it's just some of these corners like that one right there, man. And AK does a beautiful job as he makes it stick and pulls on Termal once again here as they head up into these last couple turns. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there from AK, and that, oh, I don't know, man. That looked like 4 off, but I don't know if that was just desync or lag. He like kind of moved back over, so on my end, it looked like 4 off. Termal also had contact. We're gonna consult with chat and see what the call is gonna be. All right, guys, so if you guys actually saw that in game and said that it was lag that moved AK 4 off, so AK is gonna move on with the win. Up next, we got Demons and JC Mods. And here we go, guys, Divine versus JC Mods in the F40 here. Divine, like I said in that AE86, a bold choice as it is off pace just a little bit. Let's see if he can corral that F40 heading down the hill. Looks like he does go 4 off. And JC Mods is going to be at a pretty good advantage here. And here we go, guys. Back up the hill here. JC looking for that second win on Divine. Divine falling behind once again in that AE86. It's going to be so tough for that thing. JC pulling ahead once again. Looks like he may be moving on into round 2. We'll see if he can finish off the line strong here. Nice and controlled. Does need to weave and dodge some traffic here as he runs uphill, but it's looking pretty good for him so far. And there he is, guys, on into round number 2 to face AK in that revival bracket. That is going to complete round number 1. Up next to start off round number 2, we got H1 and Chain. Here we go, guys. Chain and H1. H1's gonna get a good launch in that F40. I think Chain's gonna be chasing here. That F40 looks fast, but that Mark II was competitive. As it goes inside, it's gonna lose a little bit of pace on that evasive maneuver. H1 super solid in that F40, and the Mark II goes a little wide as the F40 pulls away here. Chain is gonna need to pull out a mirror. Oh, and H1 with some serious contact stays on the road. We're not gonna DQ him there on that contact, but Chain has a pretty aggressive advantage here. Down the hill, it just needs to finish it out strong here. He's 2 off, not 4. Driving this Mark II to its absolute limit is gonna barely brush the guardrail, and H1 goes to the inside and makes the pass. Oh, and he hits the traffic again. Chain is not gonna be faulted and is gonna get the first win of the 3 runs here. Let's see what he can do on the uphill. Here we go, guys. Back up the hill. H1 once again with a solid launch. Chain is gonna try and put the pressure on as the truck forces a little bit more evasive maneuvers here. The uphill is gonna be our deciding factor, whether Chain moves on or we go to a run number 3. Looks like that F40 has a lot more torque up the hill than it did going down the hill. It's gonna pay off for him quite well as Chain is gonna try and struggle to corral this Mark II around these corners. And it is working out okay for H1 at the moment. It's a little bit tough to see if he's going 4 wheels off up there. And it does look like that Mark II had much better pace downhill than it does up as H1 is pulling away from this thing. And here we go, guys. Final run here. Run number 3. Chain with the launch this time on that F40. There's a little bit of contact here into that first corner. Brucey, go away, man. Chain down into that inside with the defensive line is absolutely crazy. We're gonna see if H1 can poke up on that inside, and I do believe Chain did keep one wheel on that surface as H1 starts to pull away here, and it is not looking great for Chain. Chain did get that first win, but 2 and 3 were a little tougher for him as he goes 4 off there, and that is gonna complete this set of runs. H1 is gonna move on into our semifinals. All right, guys, so that is H1 on into our semifinals. Up next, we got Moat and JC Aragon. Here we go, guys. Aragon and Moat here on that salute. Aragon in the F40, Moat in the Ardent. 2 very competitive cars, 2 very competitive drivers. Let's see here as Moat, is able to corral it, but Aragon is gonna pull ahead a little bit here. Super controlled in that F40 up there. Great pace on him, man. One of our drivers to beat for sure as he hits the jump. The Ardent does get settled. Moat is putting some pressure on him here. JC very fast up there, but isn't able to quite pull away. That might have been 4 off there. We're going to have to consult with chat if Moat does end up getting the win there, but it looks like JC is going to pull ahead here, regardless of a 4-wheel drop, and pull out that win. We are going to have him go full speed, full pace, just in case, but it does look like he's going to be tough to beat tonight here, guys. And JC Aragon finishes out the line super strong on Moat. We're going to run it back. Here we go, back up the hill here. F40 and Arden. Aragon pulls ahead once again here. Moat is going to do everything he can to force that third run, but Aragon in a fast car and a fast driver, it's going to be hard to beat him tonight, man. He's pulling away. Oh, and he lost his ride-along driver. I do believe he still has the extra weight from the body in there until he pulls over, but we do keep a ride-along driver in each car just to keep it fair weight-wise. I do believe the ride-along driver adds just a little bit of weight, which is going to affect your overall acceleration and handling, so we do make sure that even the car that I'm not in does have a ride-along driver, but Aragon is just pulling away up there, and Moat doesn't seem to quite have the torque to keep up as he goes a little bit in with oversteer, but is able to corral that thing up quite nicely here. And Aragon is going to move on into the semifinals. And there it is, guys. Aragon into the semifinals to face H1. Kind of a repeat from our FD competition with AK and H1. Just a great battle in the semis. Up next, we got another FD rematch, Dilly and Hatman.
Here we go, guys. Hatman and Dilly off the salute. Hatman's going to get the jump on the Fox body. Try and guard that inside line here, down the hill. At nighttime, keep it nice and steady, nice and smooth. Definitely don't want to push the car too hard at all. I don't know if this car is super viable in the meta, but I might be able to take down a Fox body or two. Oh, it's a little unstable. Going over the jump, get to the outside. Oh, and Dilly stays off the back bumper there. I might have been a little slow. Just driving super defensive as best I can here. Give him no opportunities to pass. Thought he was going to poke him on the inside there. Oh, and he can do it again. Oh, I'm going to guard this inside here. Watch out for traffic on that upside lane. Here we go. And Dilly is not giving me an inch here. I'm trying to pull away as best I can. But I'm seeing those headlights poke up left and right. Oh, so there's a little contact and we're able to make it stick and barely beat Dilly on run number 1. Back up the hill this time, guys. Both drivers with a little bit of a tough launch there. I spun it just a little bit and we were both a little late. I'm gonna try and guard this inside once again. Got that track position. Try and go around the traffic and stay nice and defensive here. There's Dilly's gonna, I see those headlights poking up once again. Try and corral the car, get around the truck. Don't want to oversteer the car here. Meaning I don't want to input too much steering and I don't want to cause any oversteer. Go up this tricky trail. Oh, a little bump. We're able to corral it. Oh, we're going to block him on the contact. That's tough because he's definitely a little faster. I think that contact happened because he had a better pace. I just had the line and the position. We're going to keep it moving here. There's definitely incidental contact. It wasn't intentional by any means. Going back up the hill over the jump. Hit that inside. And we are just going to use track position. Some NASCAR strategy to the best of our ability here. Try and keep 2 on the... Oh, and I'm 4 off, and that's going to be a third run against Dilly. Absolutely devastating. I had it, but we are going to have to run it downhill to settle the score. And here we go, guys. Run number 3. I'm on the outside this time. Probably should have given Dilly the inside on the uphill, but we are able to get the launch there, and we're going to guard that inside once again. It's going to be tough. Just got to stay nice and smooth and keep the car on track here. I don't know why I had to go. Oh, that was scary. The same move that caused the 4 off last time. Just keep this thing on the track here, Hatman. Oh man, if it wasn't for that good launch, I don't know. Seems like the Fox body launches a little better when it does wheelie. Got very lucky with my launch all 3 times here in this X32. But I need every advantage I can get. It's very boaty. I haven't driven the Fox body on this line either, but I can't imagine it's too good. Oh, it's Dilly again. Just with much better pace. But it looks like the X32 is gonna pull it out barely and defeat Dilly to move on into the semifinals.
And there it is, guys. Hatman on into the semifinals. Up next, we have AK and JC Mods. Here we go, guys. JC Mods in the F40, AK in the Fox body. Gets the launch on that F40. Let's see if he can protect the line here. It did work out well for Hatman, just guarding that line, protecting it from Dilly. Let's see. It looks like that F40 is going to be a little faster than the Fox body, but AK might be able to outdrive him here as the F40 does make a push up that outside, and the Fox body's going to go just barely 4 off. Absolutely devastating for AK, as I thought he was going to be able to make that stick all the way down the hill, and it still looks like he has a good pace, but unfortunately with 4 off, JC Mods is going to get the win on the downhill. Here we go, guys. Back on the uphill. Fat wheelie from that Fox body. AK looking to make it work here. He wants to force that third run. And it is going to work out quite well for him as he gets pushed. Let's talk to the chat. Talk if that was incidental or intentional. All right, guys, here we go. We did rule that as incidental contact, meaning that, oh, man, with a huge launch, we are going to rerun the uphill here. And AK is going to look for that win here after going 4 off. Once again, oh, man, a lot of G's pulled on that outside, and he's making it work for him. Let's check the distance here. JC Mods is hunting him down, trying to make that work back there. That F40 should be pretty fast here on the uphill, nice and planted, as well as it gets him through the corners, but that Fox body putting the torque down is able to pull ahead just a little bit here. The Fox body putting up a better fight than I thought it would, as JC Mods does get back to his bumper, pushes him a little bit. So much of this is racing line as the truck causes a little bit of contact, and AK is able to pull ahead here on this F40. He may be able to force that third run here down the hill, as AK super strong driving here. JC Mods one last push, trying to make it work up the hill. AK is gonna try and block, and it's a photo finish to the end, and AK is gonna get it. What a finish there. Let's go, guys. Great finish from both drivers to force the third run for AK. And here we go, guys. Run number 3, super even launch from both drivers. Fox body on the inside does have a slight advantage here, though. As there's a little bit of incidental contact, we're gonna let them run it out. Oh, and the traffic does the F40 in. Absolutely devastating for JC Mods back there. AK is gonna move on into the next round. And there it is, guys. AK on to face Hatman in the semifinals. Once again, we have another rematch from our FD comp, and we are gonna move into the semifinals. We got H1 and JC Aragon to start it off. Here we go, guys. Battle of the Titans, 2 F40s. We got Aragon and H1, our 2 drivers to beat. This is a huge battle. Going down the hill, Aragon does get the lead in that red F40, H1 on the follow, and Aragon gets a little bit loose. And I'm not sure if there was contact there or not on Aragon's end, but he scooped that thing up, and he is not giving up yet as he jumps over the traffic car. Is absolutely crazy. Aragon with the battle goes to push that outside. Is it going to work for him? I'm not sure, as H1 does give him some room. Really good sportsmanship there. As they bump going into the third corner here, as they go back down, H1 does get past, and JC showing us everything he's got here. H1 is gonna look up to that inside once again, as JC just super fast is able to make that thing hook up, and H1 with some traffic contact is gonna lose his first run of 3 here. And here we go, guys, back up the hill. Aragon is gonna get the jump here. H1 is gonna do everything he can to force that third run here as we go up the hill by the traffic. H1 really consistent distance here for both drivers at the moment. And H1's gonna try and make a pass here. He's gonna look to the inside, and Aragon is super fast, corrals that car really well, and is almost unpassable as there's contact from both drivers on the truck. Oh, that's a tough one to call. I'm really not sure how to call that. I guess H1 made out a little better. He was following Aragon's line, and we'll see how the rest of the line plays out here, man. Aragon still able to catch up. Hits the jump. H1 out in front. Aragon goes a little wide there. Great racing line. Scoops him back up and makes... Oh, man, he makes up all this distance. Can he pass up the hill? He does not have the... He might have the run. H1 bumps him just a little bit. And H1 is going to be able to force that third run. And here we go, guys. One more run to decide it between these 2 phenomenal drivers as Aragon once again gets the launch. H1 hunting him down the hill here this time. Both drivers super solid onto that inside. H1's gonna try and make a pass early and doesn't quite make it stick, as Aragon with a great line out there keeps 2 wheels on the track. H1's gonna get some air here. Aragon as well. Both drivers super planted as H1's gonna make a little contact and it spins him. He keeps all 4 wheels on the track here though, and he can make up some distance. Hopefully he's able to if he's looking for that win to move on into the finals, but it looks like Aragon's got a pretty solid advantage here as H1 just giving this car everything he can down the hill, and it's not quite working out for him, man. Aragon, the newcomer, is gonna move on into the finals. And there he is, guys. Aragon up into the finals. Up next, we have our second run of the semis. We got Hatman and AK.
And here we go, guys. Hatman in the semis. Got a launch on that Fox body, and it looks like the wheelie pays off for AK as he moves into that inside. It looks like the X32 is going to have to make a pass here. Now, when I was running Dilly, my strategy was just kind of to pass on the launch if I could and block him. But it did seem like the Fox body when Dilly was driving was much faster than the X32. So it is going to be tough to make a pass here as AK down the hill just has so much more speed, so much more torque, so much more grip, and a better line. It's going to be tough to beat him here. He's pulling away. Hatman giving this Z everything it has. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get him down the hill here. A few more corners here, going around the traffic, and that gap is growing here. Looks like AK is gonna pretty solidly take the downhill. Try for that launch again here. It's my only hope as AK is able to pull ahead once again. And Hatman may be defeated here. I don't want to say too much too soon, but it is gonna be tough to get this X32 around that Fox body unless he makes a pretty big error here. As we're looking out for traffic and it is starting to pull ahead. Oh, as Hatman barely keeps it on the road. And AK is gonna walk away with it and move on into the finals to run Aragon.
And there it is, guys. AK on into the finals, defeats Hatman once again. He's quickly becoming Hatman's arch nemesis here, but we have Aragon and AK in the finals. And here we go, guys. Run number 1 of the finals. Fox body versus the F40 as the Fox body hops onto the spoiler, but the F40 is able to pull away. Aragon in that F40, AK in the Fox body. Great battle as the Fox body goes inside with the dive bomb. We're not going to fault the F40 on the contact there. As Aragon, I think AK actually waited up. I think he felt like he caused that 4-tire drop and therefore was instantly DQ'd, but we were going to let him race it out here. That looked like a racing incident to me. I think AK was looking for that rerun. Oh, as he goes 4 off and into the wall. We're going to talk to chat and see what the call is going to be. Here we go, guys. Final run of the night. If this F40 can pull out the win, the Fox body doesn't get the best launch here, and we are going to see if he can reel in Aragon up there. AK giving this thing everything it has. A super unfortunate set of circumstances. I do believe he waited up on that last run for the rerun as he hits the wall and goes 4 off. And Aragon is going to be our champion here in our second ever Street Series TOUGE competition. And there it is, guys. JC Aragon with the win in our second ever Street Series TOUGE competition. If you guys are watching this on YouTube and you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below, subscribe for more just like it, and feel free to check out our Twitch and our Discord. Links in the description down below as well if you're looking to join up in future comps. Once again, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.